Alright, so we are back at the V275. Yesterday I did get the new water pump put on there with some sealant. I don't like using sealant on water pumps, but the directions said to do so. So I followed the directions, and it was pretty easy to get back on there. I've got my new belts. I did not get them from the dealer for the reason of there are two different options for both belts. And the description did not say which belt, like as far as sizes, so I couldn't match anything up without ordering them in. Now, the dealer told me if I ordered them in, I could buy two, but I had to pay shipping on all four. And that's not something I wanted to do, so I got this belt for $4.99 and that belt for $5.99, courtesy of the AutoZone. So I got in the zone today. But anyways, I'm going to keep going here. Maybe touch back with you here in a few minutes after I get the belts on. Maybe show you some on how to adjust that belt. Because I've never done it, but I'm mechanically inclined, so I'm pretty sure I can figure it out. Belt on here, the hard one anyways, because this one obviously just adjusts with the alternator and this bracket that I loosened to take the water pump out if you watched the other video. Now this belt was just a shy smaller than the one that I took off, but the one I took off was stretched and cracked, well, I guess here it is right here. Yeah, it's just cracked and probably stretched pretty good. So what I had to do, since it was just a mite too small, I had to stretch it on there. Kind of like I'm used to, for what I do regular, throughout my work day at working at an automotive dealer, we have stretch belts. So I got it on there the most of the way, kind of pried here a little bit, and then I bumped the key or push button and rolled it over and went on there. And it has actually, it's I would consider it perfect. You got about a half an inch of deflection with maybe 15 pounds of force. But this is the way this pulley works. This is how you're supposed to tighten it up. Sorry for all the noise. I've got chickens flocking to beat the band because my wife let them out and didn't feed them this morning, so I guess that's another thing on my list for today. But so basically the two halves of the sheave just tighten up and tighten the belt. Now after I run it, I'm going to have to readjust this because I don't think it's actually riding up on that very much. But once it gets broken in, and then this is your set screw and lock nut. Once I get it running, drive around for an hour, or at least let it sit and run for an hour, I'll come back through and readjust it. Got everything back together except for the upper radiator hose. And now I'm getting ready to install the thermostat. My wonderful, this one just says CNH, it doesn't even say CNHI. There you go, there's your Case IH sticker on it, thermostat. So, there was no thermostat in this tractor, but there was this clip, and it fits in a groove in here. To me, that hole looks too big, but we're about to find out if this thing actually fits. And it does. It does fit. Now the little jingler, the bubbler, it's a hole to let air through, and the reason why they have little danglers in it, and I just know this because I'm an auto mechanic and I've went through the training and got certified for auto mechanics. That dingler there is meant to break up bubbles and make up bubbles, that way you don't have an air pocket. So let's see if we can get this clip back in here with any success. I don't know why it didn't have a thermostat in it when I got it. Just didn't. There we go. And use our screwdriver to make sure it's in the groove good. Just seems like it is. There we are. Now this tractor will actually get up to operating temperature. If it starts to overheat, I'll just pull that out. Because maybe that's why it was that way when I got it. I don't know. Okay, one other thing I wanted to point out was, I don't know if you guys remember from the other video, but I had to grind this bolt off because they were all flatheads. and I was missing this one. I did replace all of these on this side, and the top one was missing on the other side too. Now the reason why I wanted this super secure is because this right here, this bracket that holds the fuel filter, sorry, that's my camera mount, that is the only real upper radiator support. There was a bracket up underneath here that was brazed on, and it was broke, and I never brazed it back on. But yeah, that's the only real radiator support I got. So I definitely wanted to get that. Next thing you notice in the middle of your screen is a broken pipe. Now that's just the overflow. I kind of noticed it was loose. I might try to solder that. But what I'm worried about is this thing's so old and corroded. If I start applying heat, I do not want to cause more leaks. So theoretically it's not supposed to overflow, and if it does, it'll be dripping out from underneath the tractor anyways, and I'll know about it. But anyways, I guess that wraps it up for now. I've still got to do the brakes and, you know, get the whole thing cleaned off. It became a catch-all here for a second. But if you watch to the end, I appreciate it. If you like what you see, hit the thumbs up, subscribe for more, and you guys take care. Thanks.